Okay, in this video I'm going to continue this problem. This is one of the problems from Bender and Williamson's book, and this is from the chapter called Sets and Functions, problem 1.5. In the previous video I did part A, and in this video I'll do parts B and C. And in part B we're looking for all strings or words that begin with X and have length less than 4, and we're going to list them in both dictionary and length first lex order. Begin with X and have length less than 4. Let me just go ahead and write them all out. Oh boy, I'm running out of room here. Begin with X and have length less than 4. It says less than, doesn't it? Less than 4. So I only have to go up to length of 3 of X's and Y's here. Okay. So let's do part B here. Part B. Strings length begin with X and length less than 4. So I'm going to go X and Y. I'm going to go ahead and do them in length first, lex order first. There's all the strings of length 1 in lex order. Now I'm going to do the strings of length 2, if I can, in length first, in lex order. XX, then XY, and YX, and YY. Okay, now I'm going to do strings of length 3 in lex order. And this is going to be length first lex order because I started with all those of length 1, then went to the length 2, then length 3, XXX, XXY, XYX, XYY, and I'll have to go over here to go YXX, YXY, YYX, YYY. Okay, and so this is length first lex order. Okay, and we go from here down and then down like that. And of length less than 4, I have 2 plus 4 plus 8 of them. The number we have is 2 plus 4 plus 8, which is 14 of them. And it next asks us to put them into dictionary order. So it asks for both dictionary and length first lex. Length first lex is the way I would naturally just write them out when I'm just doing the cross products. Dictionary order now, I'll have to figure it out. And again, as you saw in the last example, dictionary order is very prone to making mistakes, and you just got to check it. And it's very important to just know how to check it. So dictionary order, what we're going to do is we're going to look at the total number 14 and say we're going to have 7 that begin with X and 7 that begin with Y. Okay, so here's the X's. I'm going to start with X. I'm going to move on to XX. And then I think I better move on to XXX and XXY. Now I think I've got all of those that start with 2 X's here. I think I do. Now I'm going to move on to XY. And now I've got to do all those that begin with XY. So first there's XY blank, then XYX, and XYY. And I think I've got all of them that begin with XY. And in fact, I think I have all of them that begin with X because I have 7 of them. And I'm expecting to have 7 X's and 7 Y's. And to just double check, I make sure that in every column here, I continue my prefix. So once I get an X, double X, I stick with double X's until I move to XY, and I do all the XYs. Double X comes before triple X, and X becomes before Y, so triple X comes before XXY. Now I do the Y section, and I start with Y. But because X comes before Y in the dictionary, I'm going to go YX. And now I'm going to do all the YX's. YXX and YXY. Now I finally move to the YYs, and I have YY, y, y, x, and y, y, y. And again, now I've got all 7 of them. And so this is dictionary order. And the single arrow pointing down here means that we're going to go down first and then over. And I think I did it. Let's see if I got room to do part C over here. Part C says, list all the strings of length 4 in Lex order. Length 4, 2 to the 4th. There are 16 of them. Lex order, I think I can do it here. Part C. Length 4. Length equals 4 in Lex order. Okay, so I'm going to start with x, 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 x. It's just like counting in binary, except instead of starting with 0, 0, 0, 0, I start with x, 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 x. And then instead of going to 0, 0, 0, 1, I go to x, 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 y. And then x, y, x, 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 y, x, y, x, y, y, x, and x, y, y, y. Then I move on to the y's. Y, x, 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 y, x, x, y, y, x, y, x, y, x, y, 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 x, x, y, oh, y. Am I writing all of these out? Y, 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 x, and y, 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 y. Okay. I think we did it. We're supposed to have 2 to the 4th or 16, and I've got 1, 2, 4, 6, 8 that begin with x, 2, 4, 6, 8 that begin with y. Just like counting from 0 to 15 in binary, except using x's instead of zeros and y's instead of ones. Okay, so I think I got part C done, all strength of length 4 in Lex order. Okay, hope that helps.